What's going on, guys? Sai here from 24/7 Tech, and today we'll be comparing two flagship smartwatches from two flagship companies, the Fitbit Sense and the Apple Watch Series 7. These are two smartwatches that you might be considering to buy for your wrist, and you must be wondering, which one should I get? Well, this is the right place to find out. We'll be comparing health features, smartwatch features, the pricing, the colors, all the design, all of these sorts of different factors that should go into your purchase and your decision to buy one of your smartwatches for wrist. Before we head on into the video, I do ask for one thing. Subscribe down below. Every subscriber makes a huge difference, and I really appreciate it. But anyways, let's get on to the video. Let's talk about the health features that both of these smartwatches offer. In today's world, with the new flagship smartwatches, every company is really adhering towards the health features, and particularly the Fitbit Sense is geared towards health, and even more health. Fitbit is a company that makes its money through health features, and this Fitbit Sense is no different than that, and it has completely revolutionary features like enhanced sleep tracking, stress tracking, a temperature sensor, an oxygen sensor, and an ECG. And these are multiple things that Fitbit has pioneered in the industry because they put so much money and effort into the research and development of these newer sensors, newer features, which other companies, as we'll mention later, like to also use in their later versions. But Fitbit makes its money through these health features. And let's talk about the stress and sleep tracking. These two are very similar, use similar layouts from Fitbit, and the sleep tracking gives you a sleep score based on how you've been sleeping, any disturbances in your night, and also gives you that one score, which helps you see how good your sleep is, and you can see on a mathematical basis on how it's improved, decreased, or stayed roughly the same over time. And this sleep score is with a very intensive algorithm that Fitbit has designed based on all of your different things that you do in your sleep. Stress tracking also similar to this. It's actually a really useful feature, I feel like, to see when you're stressed, when you're not stressed, what times of day you're more stressed, when you're not stressed. ECG is something that we've seen in actually the Apple Watch ever since the Series 4, and this has saved many lives because it is, a life-saving feature. The temperature sensor, I feel like, is very cool, and it came out since this Fitbit Sense came out during the height of the pandemic. This temperature sensor was much more useful. Of course, it still is, but in the pandemic, to test, COVID, to see if your temperature is higher or lower, etc. Oxygen sensor is also very important to see how much oxygen levels are inside of your body. And yeah, overall, the Fitbit Sense wants to give you this health feature package. But what about the Apple Watch? The Apple Watch is known as a smartwatch first, but the health features have steadily improved. And with the new Series 7 and the blood oxygen sensor that, Apple has taken from Fitbit's handbook, they have the revolutionary health features as well. Apple does have sleep tracking now that they introduced with the Series 6, which is also a watchOS update for older Apple Watches. They do have an ECG. They were the ones that actually started the ECG as well. And all of these different features that Apple has finally included with the Series 7 is slowly bringing it up to pace with the Fitbit Sense. And since Apple makes a new Apple Watch every year, they're allowed, they have more space, more scope to put these new features inside of the newer generations. The only thing it's missing as of now is the stress sensor compared to the Fitbit Sense. I think this is a useful feature, but slowly, Apple didn't have the blood oxygen sensor until the Series 7. Sleep tracking didn't come until the Series 6's watchOS update. So Apple is steadily improving all of these. And of course, these are very advanced health features. You're going to get a heart rate monitor, you're going to get a pedometer, you're going to get distance travel or location services on both of these devices. And since you're paying, a hefty price for these, those are almost guaranteed in a price range of this and a smartwatch of these sorts. But those health features, those advanced health features, what we're talking about, and Fitbit still narrowly outmatches Apple, but this used to be a very higher Fitbit category back when, Series 5, Series 6. But now Apple is very close to the Fitbit. So let's talk about some of the advantages the Fitbit Sense holds over the Series 7, aside from health features. Now, this category is going to be a little short because the Fitbit Sense does not really have much over the Apple Watch Series 7. There is also very nitpicky differences that you can get with the Fitbit Sense. It does have a squared design. If you like something, the Apple Watch is a little more rectangular, as you can see, and the Fitbit Sense is much more squared. So if that is something that you like and you prefer, the Fitbit Sense might be for you. Another thing is the battery life is very good on Fitbits. Not just the Fitbit Sense with the Versa 3 and the Ace and all of the Fitbit lineup, very good battery life. You can get definitely 5 to 6 days of battery life on this. And it's honestly crazy because the Apple Watch Series 7 is nowhere close to that. And if you add the new always-on display that the Apple Watch Series 7 has as well, you are pushing 2 days with the Apple Watch. Compared to the Fitbit Sense, you can get a lot more battery life. So battery is something important too. Fitbit Sense is actually very good in that. But the main selling point is the health features with the Sense. And even that Apple is catching up. So, you know, it's a little lagging right now in every other dimension. And we are due for an update. Now let's talk about Apple Watch Series 7's features. And this could be an ongoing list because of how versatile, how great Apple has become over the years. And you also have to realize Apple has had near a decade of experience designing these Apple Watches, syncing it with your smartphone, doing all these different features, and it really shows. As for the design, I feel like the Apple Watch Series 7 is second to none. They made it even better this year. 20% bigger display, even thinner bezels, and they're literally pushing the limits, like literally over the edges. And it's crazy because the Apple Watch Series 4 put it, you know, a curved display, very thin bezels. The Series 7 puts an even bigger display on it. And this is so great because you can type text, you can respond, you can swipe to type now on it. And there's so many different things you can do with the bigger display. And you have to also realize this is almost in the same exact footprint as well. It's not like they're increasing the size of the watch to get you the bigger display. They're simply decreasing the bezels, which I feel is absolutely wonderful. But the main selling point of the Apple Watch Series 7 is how it essentially replaces your phone. If you buy the cellular option, you can literally take calls, make calls from the Apple Watch itself. But I personally like the app situation a lot. Whether I'm checking my Robinhood account on stocks, I can do it just on the Apple Watch Series 7 directly. And there's so many more native apps because it's so much easier to develop the Apple Watch app, in my opinion, than the Fitbit for developers. And this generates so many different things for you. I mean, apps that you don't even realize have Apple Watch apps as well. And you can do so many different things, whether it be checking the weather, doing this, doing that. Everything is so much more streamlined on the Apple Watch, and this whole ecosystem of Apple products really, really elevates the experience of it. I can, you know, respond to texts on there, iMessage, make a phone call, all this sort of stuff. It's essentially replacing your phone. Yeah, some could argue, is there really a difference of just pulling your phone out of your pocket takes like 1 more second? But you know, if you are buying one of the smartwatches, the Apple Watch definitely elevates the smartwatch experience. They put literally the smart in smartwatch, in my opinion. Now let's talk pricing, and let's start with the Apple Watch Series 7. We know it's not going to be cheap. It starts at $400 for the 41mm option. And if you want the 45mm option, you have to pay around $30 extra. This price is hefty. And if you want to go for the stainless steel version instead of the normal aluminum version, it's going to cost you $700 just for the 41mm, and then you have to add it on top, of course. The bands are also not cheap from Apple. To buy an Apple Watch band just from Apple, the lowest cost is $50 if you want another band, which is nuts. There's also third-party bands on Amazon, etc., and they're all really good too. So I would advise against going with the most expensive band from Apple because they can get really expensive with their bands. And Amazon and other third-party companies probably have good alternatives as well. As for the Fitbit Sense, it now costs $230. So at release date, it was actually $330. I guess Fitbit realized that everybody's catching up, so their way to compensate for that is to bring the price down to $230. Now, however, there's a huge caveat to this $230 price tag, and it's almost like you need an asterisk right on top of it, and it's that you need Fitbit Premium, their subscription plan, to access all of the great health features that I just recapped. The thing with this feature, subscription, is that it costs $10 a month. And if you want an annual subscription, you can get, I think, for $80, which is a $40 discount, not bad. But let's say you're owning this watch for 2 years, which I feel like if you're buying a smartwatch today, most people own it 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. Like the shelf life for a smartwatch is very long, especially for an Apple Watch, since they get so many updates, the shelf life is even longer. But let's say the Fitbit, you keep it for 2 years. We'll be a little generous. That's $160 right there. You add the $230 of the price itself, and you're looking at the same price as an Apple Watch. So don't get it fooled with the price tag of $230. That smartwatch is just a digital watch with a pedometer that can track your heart rate. It does not give you anything that the Fitbit Sense has, any of those amazing health features, unless you buy the Fitbit Premium subscription. So these prices are honestly neck to neck right now. Now that we've recapped the pricing, the health features, the smartwatch features, the calling, texting, all this sort of stuff, which one should you buy? Well, if you have a non-iPhone, if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone, or if you have an Android or a Google Pixel, any of these sorts of phones, you have to buy the Fitbit Sense if you're, of course, between these two. I would look at the Galaxy Watch lineup, which from Samsung. They just released a new one as well, the Watch 5. But in a nutshell, you literally cannot use the Apple Watch Series 7 without an iPhone. I'm assuming most of the viewers today are probably owners of an iPhone, because iPhone users can either use the Fitbit Sense or the Apple Watch Series 7. And I feel like right now it's a no-brainer to buy the Apple Watch Series 7. The price, as I said, you are probably going to keep this smartwatch for around 2 years, and the price becomes very even. $400, you know, maybe a couple extra dollars on one side if you want the bigger option, a little less. The Fitbit Sense is one size fits all compared to the Apple Watch Series 7, where you have to pay $30 extra for the bigger watch. But still, the prices really even out later on. And the amount of versatility, the amount of smartwatch features, smartphone features, all that you get with the Apple Watch in general already puts it above the Fitbit Sense, and marginally, in my opinion. But now that they're adding all of these different health features, they have the ECG, they have the blood oxygen, they have the sleep tracking. They're not beating Fitbit at its own game, but they're getting so close to Fitbit at their own game. And they have a whole multitude of features that no other company, not just Fitbit, has to offer, which I feel like if you have an iPhone, the Apple Watch Series 7 is close to the one to buy. Now, if you're looking simply to just get a smartwatch that has a decent sized screen, which you can just play maybe limited apps, Spotify, just look at the watch, pedometer, and basic health features, and you don't want to break the bank, and you're only between these two, the Fitbit Sense at $230 could be for you. But this is a very minority of the people watching this video, and I feel like the general public, the Apple Watch Series 7 is far, far ahead. And honestly, I feel like we're due for not even just a redesign, but a very different overhaul of the Fitbit Sense. And I think Fitbit is working on their Sense 2, and they have stuff coming up for it, because the only reason why it would come down from $330 to $230 like this rapidly means that a new model is coming out. There's also other Apple Watch models that you can, check out my older videos on, and I will be updating you guys as well in the future about. But just for this video, for the sake of it, I think the Apple Watch Series 7 is 100% better. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe down below. Every subscriber makes a huge difference, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.